Sometimes buying a home is like you're in your own hit reality show. So let's talk about 10 different types of personalities, 10 different types of people you're gonna come in contact with. My name is Andrew Feeney, and my passion is helping you make sense of real estate. If you need help finding a top agent where you live, or if you simply want to drop me a line to say hello, my contact info is below. If you're new here, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now and like this video. Thank you. All right, my friend, let's take a closer look at what's going on with these 10 people that are going to want to join in on your show. The first kind is the Open House Fanatic. You know those people that when you're out there checking out a house, either you're with your buyer agent or you're simply driving around on your own looking at open houses, and it's that couple, it's that person, it's those people that seem to be following you from location to location. Are they really stalking you, or are they trying to figure out a competitive strategy? Don't worry, in a lot of cases, they're just open house fanatics. They have nothing else going on and they love to look at homes. So what they actually do as part of their enjoyment is to find open houses to go take a look at. In many cases, they're not ready to buy. They could be anywhere from 1 to 3 years out, and they're simply gauging the market and trying to get an idea of what kind of home they want. The second type of person that you're likely to meet is the old school agent. Now, the old school agent, one of the coolest things about them is that they might have some of the older ways of doing business, like wanting you to come to the office, review your disclosures and sign everything, and meet up at you at the office to sign your purchase offer, as opposed to using cool little things that a lot of us tech-savvy agents will use with like DocuSign or other programs, and of course, happy to explain it to you in person if that's what you would prefer to do. All the same, the old school agent will have probably been around since before you were born and know everything about a city since the time of its formation. I mean, they're like the dinosaurs in the real estate age, and they know almost everything about every community because they've been around for 30, 40, or 50 years. Now, I say the old school agent, the reality is I've been in this business now for about 6 years and loving every moment of it and being a tech savvy and forward thinking agent. The one thing I'm going to ask you to do is to Google the agent and check their online ratings, reviews, and past sales performance to make sure you're choosing the right agent for you. I'll go ahead and pop up a card right now about how to choose the right agent for you and some helpful tips there. It's a little bit too much for you, you'd like to simplify the process, simply reach out to me at my contact information below directly, and I'll help you find a top agent near you. The third type of person you're going to meet is the Inspector Gadget. Now, the Inspector Gadget is that home inspector that's going to go out there and perform your home inspection. By the way, home inspections are optional. I highly encourage you to have a home inspection done so you know what the condition of the property is at the time the home inspection is completed. Now, a good home inspector will want to try to schedule with you. You can go to the home inspection, or you can wait until after the fact. If you wait until after the fact, what the home inspector is going to do is send you a detailed report including pictures with the things that they found as discrepancies in their report. A home inspection is not pass or fail. It's simply a notation of what the current property's condition is at the time of the home inspection. And a lot of home inspections could range anywhere between $200 on up. And the sky's the limit in a way, because depending on the type of inspection, depending on the size of the home and the price of the home, will dictate the price of the home inspection. Fortunately, we know that most of these on average are going to run somewhere between $200 and $400 each. So it's a cost to be prepared for when you're going through the home buying process. Now, for that kind of money, you do want to be Inspector Gadget, and you wanted to look through a magnifying glass at every single thing in that house. What we want to pay most attention to are the things of substance that are wrong with the house. Maybe the HVAC needs to be serviced. Maybe there's a roof repair that needs to be done. Cosmetic things like, you know, the paint was a little bit discolored in an area, or there was a settling crack. Those are things that normally you wouldn't ask for in a repair request. Of course, it's something that you and your trusted real estate advisor could ask for, though we're more concerned about the bigger ticket items that could cost you a lot of dough at the end of the day. Inspector Gadget is your friend. The fourth person you're going to meet is the lending guru. Now, with the lending guru, this is that lender that's going to review all your loan options with you, ideally a local loan officer, because they know of any specific programs in your state, in your city, in your county that better help you get the best loan program possible. With the lending guru, they'll be crunching numbers and you'll be sitting there watching them, or if you meet with them in person, you'll sit there and you watch them and you'll be like, what are you doing? What's going on there? They're like with an abacus or something, crunching numbers, plotting things. Oh, we could do this. They start talking to themselves. Oh, you know what? But then there's a new program that could help you with that's a down payment assistance, and the way that it would work would be X, Y, and Z. So they'll help you make the most well-informed loan option decision that you have available to you that help make sense essence of the lending process for you. Lending gurus are awesome, and when you find one that loves geeking out and being all nerdy about the loans, you know you have the right one. The fifth type of person you're likely to run into is the well-intentioned doubter. Now, the well-intentioned doubter could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be a coworker, or somebody that you don't even know that overheard you say something about you buying a home, and they're like, well, do you think you really should be buying a home? Is now the right time? Oh, I don't think you're getting a good deal on your home. Or, you know, I wish I would have done this differently, blah, 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 right? So essentially they're the person that means well, that doesn't necessarily know what they're talking about for the current market conditions or trends. Sometimes it might feel like they're negative and pessimistic. They try to get you to second guess or rethink your position about buying a home. Don't buy into it. Stay true to yourself and stay true to the reasons why you want to buy a home and why it's important to you and how it's going to impact your life in the future. At the end of the day, this is your decision and it's all about you, and it should be one that you're well informed about to make the best real estate decision possible, and one that you're comfortable with every step of the way. The sixth type that you're going to run into is the analyzing appraiser. Now, it is the appraiser's job to work for the bank and assign a value to the property. It's very, very, very important to note that getting the price right from the beginning is very, very helpful. How do you do that? You work with your trusted real estate advisor and you perform what's called a comparative market analysis on the property prior to submitting an offer. If you're buying a home and it's listed for $520,000, but the home comps out for $500,000, what that means is that you're probably going to have a problem with the appraisal going forward. Wouldn't it be best to make a realistic offer up front and have your trusted real estate advisor submit the comparables along with the offer? It's going to bode in your favor and it's going to be a lot easier. Think about this for a moment. If people come to terms and agree up front, the seller agrees up front with you to take $20,000 off the price they would like to get for the home and go in the contract at $500,000, this is a good thing. It keeps everyone on the up and up and everyone feeling good about their decision moving forward through the closing process. The appraiser is going to go in there. Their job is to know everything about that community, everything about that kind of home, and to assess the value of that property in relation to the comparables and make appropriate adjustments based upon the features, benefits, and improvements that property may have. If the property you're looking at has a lot of improvements, then it becomes extremely important and very helpful for your trusted real estate advisor to have a great conversation with the listing agent and request the seller put together a list of improvements of what improvements were done, when they were done, and the price associated for it to help the appraiser make the determination in the property value. Keeping in mind, you can only get as much home loan as the appraiser appraises the property for. So it's extremely important that the appraiser's opinion matches what you're offering on the property. The seventh type is the intrusive underwriter. Now, when we're talking about the intrusive underwriter, it's not that they mean to be grilling you. You might wonder though, is it better to go through an FBI or CIA interrogation opposed to working with an underwriter? The reason being is they're going to be asking for your name. Do you have kids? Do you plan on getting married? Are you married? They'll ask about any and all deposits into your account, any and all money that's going out. If they see a discrepancy, they're going to ask you for it. They might ask you for the justify it. Believe it or not, this is actually a good thing. The reason being is that underwriter is ensuring that everything will go off without a hitch for your closing date. So it's extremely important through the underwriting process to get any documentation and justify anything they're asking you to justify as quickly as possible when they ask for it. Getting that done sooner than later and jumping on it right away will keep your closing process on track and help you get ready for the keys to your new home. The eighth type that you're going to meet is the happy transaction coordinator. A lot of agents might have a transaction coordinator whose job is solely to do the documentation, dot the I's, cross the T's. Now, some of these people love pushing paper so much, they're like a paper passer, and they'll take such joy in the process, it'll baffle your mind. They'll be so nerdy about the paperwork, it'll make you wonder, oh my God, this person really loves these documentations and these contracts, because they're happy to help. They're always going to be letting you know what should be signed and why it should be signed. And of course, anytime you have very specific real estate questions, that's when you want to ask your trusted real estate advisor. Now, a great trusted real estate advisor will give you a heads up whenever the transaction coordinator is going to send you something for electronic signature, offer to have you come to the office and sign it in person so you can review it, to ensure that you're clear and you understand what it is that you're signing and agreeing to moving forward. All the same, the happy transaction coordinator is going to be making sure all the documentation is being completed. All the documentation has all the I's dotted, all the T's crossed, and everything's ready to go, so nothing stalls your closing process to keep you on track into your new dream home. The 9th person that you're going to meet is the Reminiscent Seller. Now, the Reminiscent Seller is a person that is going to be getting a little bit sad through the process as they realize, oh my goodness, we're selling our family home. We have built so many happy memories here. Little Johnny, little Susie went over there. They drew a heart into the concrete that year that we poured the slab, and it was just so emotional. They might start crying. They might start getting emotional. Now, what I recommend to sellers to do when they're selling their home and they have a strong emotional bond is to always write down the reasons why they're selling their home and why it's important to them and how it impacts their life going forward. You notice a little bit of a common theme there for the reasons why somebody does a real estate transaction, whether buying or whether selling. It's always important to understand the reasons why it's important to you. In the case of the seller, I do recommend that they go through the house after it's been vacated, after they've moved out, and before the house closes to make their peace and thank the home for the wonderful memories and the love that they fill those walls with. Now, with you as a buyer, sometimes they might want to talk a little bit more about the house and let you know more interesting things, which is actually really cool when this happens because you'll discover even more unique things to love your new home with. And it's such a good feeling to know what's going on. A Reminiscent Seller will also let you know all the idiosyncrasies of the house and of their property. They'll probably let you know, hey, you know, this is what you want to do every 3 months. You want to go into the backyard. You want to check this. Every now and then this might come up as an issue, so this is how we fixed it. And they'll be happy to provide you with a homeowner journal that'll have all the professionals they've used to maintain their property. A Reminiscent Seller is one of the best kind of sellers because they're going to give you the home that they love to you, and they trust you with it moving forward. The 10th type of person that you're going to run into is Nellie the Nosey Neighbor. Now, Nellie the Nosey Neighbor is probably one of the first people that bought a home in that community. As such, they know everything and they seemingly know everyone. They can tell you what improvements were done to a home, who owned the home, when it sold, who bought the home, what those people did to the home, when they sold it, and who bought it next. They'll tell you everything that you could ever possibly want to know about your new community and probably tell you what's going on with your house too. Nellie the Nosey Neighbor is one of the funnest people you could probably ever meet, and sometimes might be a little bit, hey, you know what, Nosy Nellie, appreciate ya, but I gotta get on with my life and moving in. Thank you though, it was a pleasure to meet you, and at the same time, will be someone that can shed a lot of insight into your community. Nellie the Nosey Neighbor are an interesting lot. So now that you know the 10 types of people that you're most likely to run into buying your new house, now let's talk about who you want to notify when you move into your new home and the 12 things you want to do for the first week in your new home. Looking forward to our next conversation. See you in a few.